What's up, YouTube friends? Today I'm going to show you how to make this quick and easy butter chicken in the crock pot. I'm not sure how authentic it is, but it's super easy and very delicious. And I apologize if you can hear some birds in the background. Dexter is watching his program. The things you're going to need to make this recipe are some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. 2 pounds of them. I got this at Walmart, and this is actually 2.6 pounds. It was the smallest one I could find. I'm going to use all of them. You're going to need 5 cloves of garlic. I just have the minced kind here. 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger. I got this little nug. I like to keep mine in the freezer because I never use that whole little root. This is about a tablespoon. So then I also had some paste in the fridge. I'm going to use both. A 16-ounce can of tomato sauce, which I thought I had, but I didn't. I only have this pizza sauce. I'm going to use it anyway. Recipes are just suggestions. They're not written in stone. It will be fine. You're also going to need 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of garam masala, and this is one of those spices that you use maybe once a year. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, a half a teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. I don't have like regular baking salt, so I'm just going to use some Lowry's. A half a teaspoon of white sugar or honey, and Mother got this little honey bear as a sample at Hy-Vee. It's Happy Hive Honey. A little promo there. They're local here to Omaha, or around the area anyway. And I just thought that little bear was so cute. You also need 3 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. You could also use that coconut cream or coconut milk. I think that's more authentic. And to put on top as a finishing garnish, I have some cilantro here. The recipe suggests either cilantro, mint, or parsley, fresh of course. Today I'll be serving this with some jasmine rice. I'm just going to cook this in the Instapot. Super simple, super easy. And I can never ever find naan bread at my Walmart. They say they have it. I can never find it. So then I just got some Greek pitas. It's not the same, but they'll do. If you know where they are at Walmart, let me know in the comments. Now, of course, I'll go ahead and leave all the ingredients down in the description. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is grate up all of this ginger. I always leave the peel on. I use one of those microplanes. You can't even tell it's there. So I'm just going to grate it onto this little paper plate and put it in my crock pot. So I got about a tablespoon out of that. I'm just going to dump it right into my crock pot. Yes, my hands are kind of clean. And then I'm just going to put about a tablespoon of the paste. That looks good to me. Next, I'm going to add the equivalent of 5 cloves of minced garlic. So probably about 2 tablespoons, maybe 2.5. I'm then going to add my 16 ounces of tomato sauce. And then I'm just going to add all my spices. So I'm going to start with my teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, a half a teaspoon of chili powder or more if you want it spicier. Mother doesn't like it very spicy. 2 teaspoons of the garam masala, and then a half a teaspoon of honey or white sugar. Come on, honey. Come on, honey. Next, I'm just going to give it a little stir to combine that all together before I add my chicken thighs. So now I'm just going to add my chicken thighs, and I'm going to stir them around in the sauce to get them coated. This is about 2.5 pounds, like I said earlier, but you only need 2 pounds. But who doesn't like extra chicken? There's no need to add any water to this at this point because the chicken will give off enough juices. And now I'm just going to spread my 3 tablespoons of butter on top. So now I'm just going to put my lid on here and I'm going to cook this on high for 1.5 to 2 hours or low for 4 to 6. And I'm going to cook it on low. So it's been 4 hours, so I'm just going to remove my chicken thighs. I'm going to cut them up into bite-sized pieces. I turn my crock pot down to warm, and I'm also going to add 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And give that a stir. And this stuff is just falling apart. So now I'm just going to return this back to the crock pot, and I'm just going to let it set until my rice is done. So now I'm just going to cover this up. I'm going to chop up my cilantro, and I'm just going to wait for my rice to get done. To cook my rice, I just put 2 cups of basmati rice in my Instapot with 2.5 cups of chicken broth. You can just use water. I cooked it on high for 5 minutes, and then I'm just going to release the pressure and give it a fluff. So I'll bring you back when my plate is done. So here's what my plate looks like, and you better believe I'm going back for seconds. I had to come into the sewing room because Mother has the news blaring. So I just like to serve this over rice with a little bit of the cilantro. And then I just went ahead and I toasted my pitas in a dry pan and I cut them into quarters. I hope you give this delicious recipe a try. If you like this video and want to see more of my videos, go down below and hit that big red subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or would just like to leave a suggestion for a future upcoming video, leave me a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm super hungry, so I'm going to go eat this, and I'll see you next time.